Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Game News Roundup, where we go over the latest gaming news, sales figures, and industry information. And we got some interesting, information that has come to light thanks to the hearings between the FTC in the US and Microsoft that are going on starting today, and then also going on tomorrow, and through several days next week. As I'm sure you see in the title, Bethesda's Indiana Jones game is exclusive to Xbox and PC, and also is coming to Game Pass. So going into some details, the game was announced in 2021. Wolfenstein developers Machine Games are developing the game. Obviously, Bethesda is publishing it, even though they are obviously part of Xbox at this point, but they still publish the games themselves. And of course, we haven't heard much about the game since 2021, since it was announced. I think it was very early in 2021 when the game was officially announced. But we did learn that there was a deal between Bethesda and Disney before Microsoft acquired Bethesda's parent company, ZeniMax Media, obviously, which includes Bethesda, id Software, Machine Games, and several other developers as well. But after Microsoft acquired Bethesda's parent company, ZeniMax Media, the deal with Disney was amended, and the AAA game, so yeah, the game is set to be a AAA game, unsurprisingly. The game, it would be an Xbox console exclusive after the amendment, so apparently it was going to probably most likely come out to PlayStation, maybe even Nintendo, who knows. But most likely it would have been Nintendo as well, and potentially, most likely it would have been PlayStation as well, and potentially Nintendo. However, with this new deal, the game will now be an Xbox console exclusive, as well as coming to PC, because Microsoft does release all their games pretty much day and date on PC, along with Xbox now, which some of they've done in the last handful of years, and of course, be coming to day one on Xbox Game Pass. He did say, though, that having titles released only on Xbox and PC, so having fewer platforms, does have a benefit, helping streamline the development. So yeah, you go to fewer platforms and your development gets more streamlined, said Hines. It just needs to run as well as possible on one box on PC. You know, a narrow focus always helps versus being on more platforms. He did add, we would not be putting Starfield out. He originally didn't say Starfield, but obviously they were talking about Starfield, putting Starfield out in 9 weeks if we were supporting an entire additional platform, in my opinion. So in his opinion, Pete Hines, one of the head guys at Bethesda, did say if Starfield was coming to additional platforms, mainly probably referring to PlayStation 5, there's no way the game would be coming out on September 6th. It likely would be coming out much later on, is what he's suggesting. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know that, yes, if you're looking forward or curious about... I say looking forward, we haven't seen anything about the game. If you're curious about Bethesda's Indiana Jones game, it is an Xbox console exclusive, as well as coming to PC and Game Pass on day one. And now this isn't unprecedented. This isn't the first time we've seen exclusivity deals with Disney, as Sony currently has three games in development. One coming out soon, and one coming out, and two others we're not sure when they're coming out. But Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is a Disney game. Marvel is owned by Disney. Marvel's Wolverine. And as well as Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. They've all been confirmed as PlayStation exclusives, at least whether it's timed exclusive. I mean, probably Spider-Man, or Spider-Man 2 at this point coming out, and Wolverine most likely will be PlayStation exclusives, as they are developed by Insomniac Games, and Knights of the Old Republic remake is, I'm pretty sure, developed by a studio that's not owned by Sony PlayStation. But they've all been confirmed and announced as PlayStation exclusives, so Microsoft has Indiana Jones as an Xbox console exclusive, also coming to PC day one. And Sony's got Marvel's Spider-Man. Obviously, Spider-Man 2, you could say Miles Morales. It's basically the Spider-Man series of games recently released, as well as Wolverine and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Also interesting of note to mention about exclusivity deal. Sony develops MLB The Show, which was originally PlayStation exclusive, but Major League Baseball told them they have to basically make the game multi-platform, otherwise they would probably lose the rights to keep developing the series of games and get someone else to develop it. So since, in the last couple of years, we've seen MLB The Show come to Xbox, as well as the Nintendo Switch. Not sure how well it runs on the Switch, mind you, but MLB The Show is available on both. So yeah, a couple of other things of note. Let's see. Oh, yeah. We've got Microsoft. This is the most of that's come out from these hearings and whatnot. Microsoft expects the next generation of consoles to launch in 2028. So the next gen Xbox, whatever it'll be called, we don't know, Xbox Series X2, Xbox Series S2, PS6 most likely, obviously from Sony. The expected starting period for next generation of consoles is 2020, according to Microsoft in the court documents posted, which is going to be covered during the hearings over the next several days. So if you're wondering how long this generation is going to last, it's likely going to be 8 years before we see the next gen. Well, from when the PS5 and Series X launched in 2020 to now 2028 for the next gen. And while, if you want to compare, from the PS4 and Xbox One to the launch of the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S was 7 years, 2013 to 2020. However, the generation before the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One was 8 years, 2005 to 2013, while the PS3 to the PS4 was 7 years, 2006 to 2013. And Nintendo, well, they've off-kiltered at this point with the Switch coming out in 2017, 3.5 years after the launch, you could say, of the PS4 and Xbox One, but 3.5 years before the launch of the Series X and S and PS5. And when is Nintendo releasing the next console? At this point, we don't know for sure. And also from Jim Ryan, there was a statement released. Apparently, this is from an email that ended up accidentally being posted online. He's not worried about Microsoft's Activision deal about Call of Duty or games becoming Xbox exclusive. Interesting enough, this is from an email between Sony Interactive Entertainment President and CEO Jim Ryan, as well as a former Sony CEO. The email reads, "It is not exclusivity play at all," said Ryan, referring to Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition. "They are thinking bigger than that," referring to probably cloud gaming and Game Pass. "And they have the cash to make moves like this. I've spent a fair amount of time with Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer and Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, and I'm pretty sure we will continue to see Call of Duty on PlayStation for years to come. We have some good stuff cooking. I'm not complacent. I'd rather this didn't happen, but we'll be okay. We'll be more than okay," referring to Microsoft owning Activision Blizzard, said Jim Ryan. And also, to note, Microsoft has offered a 10-year deal to Sony to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. However, Sony has refused to sign the deal so far. And Microsoft offered the exact same deal to Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo platforms, which Call of Duty hasn't seen a release on Nintendo platforms since, I believe, was a Call of Duty Ghosts on the Wii U in 2013. I think might have been the last Call of Duty on Nintendo platform. So it's been 10 years. It's been a while. It has been a while. And yes, Nintendo did sign the 10-year deal. Microsoft also, as I'm sure you're well aware of, as I mentioned plenty of times, they've got 3, maybe even 4 at this point, 10-year deals to bring Xbox games as well as Activision Blizzard games, if the deal is approved, to 3 or 4 different cloud streaming services, including NVIDIA's GeForce Now. But yeah, there's a couple of things I wanted to cover coming out today. I want to get this out now. I know it's my second video of the day, crazy talks, but there's a lot of industry information coming out. So I thought I would get an extra video out today. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, me going over these last few things, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time for some more gaming news, gaming sales, and other gaming industry information that comes out.